Shalom, family, it's your manly life. Thank you for joining me at Unsectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I am a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Let's get it, family. Alright, family, we're jumping back into Terra-Infinita today, and we're getting into Chapter 14, Lands of Orion. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. These lands are dominated by beings known as Greys, generally of small stature between 1.30 and 1.40 meters high. They are beings of great psychic and scientific development. Their laboratories are extremely advanced and undoubtedly the best that can be found within this great dome. They have been experimenting with many races. They have in their possession knowledge about all men existing here, and the custodians have used them on several occasions in their obsession to try to achieve penetration into the celestial lands. But as everything tried was a failure, many of these beings were busy analyzing the human being in death, carrying out abductions and other genetic tests. They are beings that lack empathy and are generally hostile towards humans. Only on a few occasions have they shown compassion, but cases of abductees who have had really bad experiences abound. They have been abducting and experimenting with human beings for a long time. In fact, in the time before the last reset and other resets as well, they were already experimenting with us. The curious thing was when they tried to do it during the time of the Great Advanced Tartary, where free energy was controlled and a very superior technology. For that time, the ships of the Greys were destroyed almost by thousands every day. We could call them brothers. We could call them brothers. Hold on, let me read that again. They have been abducting and experimenting with human beings for a long time. In fact, in the time before the last reset and other resets as well, they were already experimenting with us. The curious thing was when they tried to do it during the time of the Great Advanced Tartary, where free energy was controlled and a very superior technology. For that time, the ships of the Greys were destroyed almost by thousands every day. We could call them brothers of the beings of Zeta Reticuli, since their races intermingled and today they coexist together. In the time before the Great War, these beings were in control of the known lands for a short period of time. As the custodian and Anunnaki leaders had major uprising problems in another circle environment, this was taken advantage of by the giants and humans to carry out the largest uprising in history. The Greys were defeated without being able to do anything but go in search of the custodians. These beings were expelled from the known lands by the giants. This they would never forgive them. And although there were later meetings with giant leaders, it is well known that they detest them and that the feeling is mutual. The greatest leader of the Grey beings died in the known lands that generated that the hatred that they had for humanity was raised even more. The Greys colonized independent lands, but never came to dominate any other circle environment on their own. The Greys colonized independent lands, but never came to dominate any other circle environment on their own. The beings of Zeta Reticuli were colonized by the Anunnaki and used in their great expeditions towards the exploration of other lands. On the other hand, the Greys of Orion followed a similar path, but on the custodial side, with the great difference that the Orion Greys really revealed themselves when the human uprising existed. The death of their great leader caused a deep hatred towards the custodians for the task of taking care of other people's lands. Several battles existed between them, which further facilitated the power of the great Tartarians in the known lands. Although it was never managed Although it was never managed to have them as allies since they hate humans. The truth is that there was an exchange of technology between gray leaders and humans, but they fell into the hands of the elite and were used against and for the destruction of the race itself. Gray beings can also be found in the Mars lands, which is a large experimental land where both the custodians and the Anunnaki jointly control. The human colony there clashed several times against the Greys, but were defeated in all those battles. They use cloning to subsist as a race and are very robotic in their functions. They are devoid of any kind of emotion or empathy. They came very close to being totally exterminated in the past. You know what this sounds like to me? Once again, family, if you're interested in this, once again, the show Stargate has a lot of similarities between what I just read, and Stargate SG-1 has a lot of similarities between what I just read in that TV show. Also, the Greys are, I would say, very big in pop culture, so a lot of this shouldn't really be too much of a surprise to a lot of people from what I just read as far as who the Greys are. But that's all I really wanted to add to that, family. Yeah, go check out the show Stargate SG-1. There's really, like I said, family, just connecting the dots between a lot of the pop culture TV shows and sci-fi and things going on now, and all the information that's coming out. Man, it's crazy. What a crazy time we live in, family. But as usual, it's your man, me, Eli. Thank you for joining me at Unsectarian Wisdom. And I'm a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. We got it, family, and I'll catch you later. Be blessed.